Think you've seen hot? Think again. These 10 queer and queer-coded men are not just breaking hearts in 2025. They are rewriting the rules of fame, style, and fearless expression. From global pop stars to rising European actors, every one of them is setting the internet on fire. Out loud or silently iconic, they have captured the world's imagination. Drop your vibe in the comments, tell us who made your heart skip a beat, and get ready to swoon. Let's dive in. Alvaro Mel, the Spanish star who's redefining cool and queer-coded masculinity. He has become one of Spain's most recognizable faces, not just because of his striking good looks, but because of the quiet, magnetic charm that draws millions to his social media, modeling campaigns, and acting projects. Born in Salamanca, Spain, Alvaro initially rose to fame not through a blockbuster movie or a hit song, but through Instagram. His perfectly curated photos, some edgy streetwear looks, and piercing gaze earned him a massive following, turning him from a small-town boy into an international influencer almost overnight. But Alvaro's appeal runs deeper than aesthetics. As his career grew, he began stepping into acting roles that showed he was more than just a pretty face. His breakthrough came with the Spanish series La Fortuna, and later Paraíso, where his natural charisma and emotional depth on screen caught the attention of both fans and critics. What's especially intriguing about Alvaro is how his public persona dances at the edge of queer-coded aesthetics, without him ever officially defining or labeling his orientation. In photo shoots, Alvaro effortlessly mixes soft and masculine energy. You might see him in a delicate, pearl-draped outfit one day, and a sharp, tailored suit the next. His Instagram posts often explore vulnerability and intimacy, whether through tender captions or playful self-expression, sparking endless speculation and admiration among his followers. This refusal to box himself in has made Alvaro an emblem of modern masculinity, a masculinity that allows room for softness, creativity, and fluidity. Importantly, Alvaro has never claimed a queer label or publicly identified as part of the LGBTQ+ community. But his influence within queer spaces, particularly among young fans exploring identity, is undeniable. Many fans see in him a symbol of how straight-presenting celebrities can challenge traditional gender norms and help broaden mainstream conversations around masculinity and beauty. Beyond modeling and acting, Alvaro is also passionate about photography, often sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses into his artistic experiments. His creativity extends beyond being in front of the camera. It is about shaping images, moods, and emotions that resonate with a generation craving authenticity and connection. As the lines between celebrity, influencer, and artist continue to blur, Alvaro Mel stands as a fascinating figure. He occupies a space where queer-coded expression meets global pop culture, where vulnerability meets cool, and where the next generation's ideas of love, beauty, and identity are constantly being rewritten. For his fans, queer and straight alike, Alvaro is not just someone to admire on screen or in ads. He is a reminder that you do not need to shout who you are or what you stand for. Sometimes, it is enough to live with authenticity, let your art speak, and give people permission to imagine a more fluid, expressive world. Drop a 5 if you're one of the millions who find Alvaro Mel's style and vibe absolutely unforgettable. Max Emerson, the fearless model who made the internet his stage. If you have been anywhere near Instagram over the past decade, chances are you have stumbled across Max Emerson. And once you do, it is hard to look away. With a body sculpted like a Greek statue, a mischievous grin, and a fearless attitude, Max has become one of the most recognizable gay male models on the planet. But what makes him truly magnetic is not just the way he looks. It is the unapologetic way he lives. Born in Florida, Max entered the modeling world in his early 20s, quickly landing gigs with major brands like Abercrombie & Fitch, Armani, and Marc Jacobs. But unlike many models who stay tucked into glossy magazine pages, Max took control of his own narrative. He turned to YouTube, Instagram, and social media long before it was cool, building a fan base drawn not just to his looks, but to his humor, activism, and disarming honesty. Max was one of the early male models to openly and proudly identify as gay, at a time when many in the industry were still encouraged to stay vague. But Max did not just come out. He came out laughing, dancing, and poking fun at himself and the world around him. His YouTube sketches tackled everything from dating disasters to body image to the ridiculousness of influencer culture. He invited people into his life, not the airbrushed fantasy, but the messy, funny, and deeply relatable side of being a young gay man navigating fame. Beyond the surface, Max is a passionate activist. He has used his platform to raise awareness and funds for LGBTQ+ youth homelessness, a cause close to his heart. His 2016 indie film Hooked tackled this issue head-on, blending storytelling with activism to shed light on a crisis too often ignored. For Max, visibility has never just been about selfies and six-packs. It is about making sure queer youth feel seen, valued, and never alone. His romantic life has also captured headlines, particularly his longtime relationship with United States Army officer Andres Camilo. Together, they have become one of the LGBTQ+ community's most beloved couples, breaking stereotypes and showing the world what a proudly out, loving gay relationship looks like. Humor, adventure, and shirtless beach pics included. What is remarkable about Max is his range. He is just as comfortable strutting down a runway as he is making absurd YouTube videos or standing on a protest line. He is a reminder that you can be a thirst trap and an activist, a comedian and a model, a lover and a fighter, all at once. In a world obsessed with polished perfection, Max Emerson remains beautifully, hilariously human. He is not just a model in front of the camera. He is a model for how to live loudly, love proudly, and never take yourself too seriously. Drop a 2 in the comments if Max's fearless energy has ever brightened your feed. Arón Piper, the Spanish heartthrob who keeps everyone guessing. When you hear his name, chances are your mind goes straight to Elite, the Netflix smash hit that turned the Spanish actor into a global sensation. But Arón's story is more than just teen drama fame. With his cool, effortless vibe, piercing gaze, and mysterious aura, he has become a modern-day icon who transcends labels and borders. Born in Germany but raised in Spain, Arón burst onto the scene as Ander Munoz, a sensitive, conflicted teen navigating sexuality, love, and identity. It did not take long for fans to fall head over heels, not just for the character, but for the actor behind him. And as the world watched, Arón became something rare, an actor who made both queer and straight audiences swoon alike. What sets Arón apart is not just his acting talent or striking looks, it is his vibe. He embodies a kind of quiet rebellion, a refusal to be boxed in. In interviews, he is famously reserved, never rushing to define himself or satisfy public curiosity. That air of mystery has only amplified the fascination around him. People speculate, is he queer, is he an ally, or is he just that good at capturing emotion on screen? Arón, for his part, does not hand out easy answers, but his impact is undeniable. His portrayal of Ander was not just another gay best friend role. It was raw, vulnerable, and deeply human. He brought nuance to a character that could have easily fallen into cliché. Fans around the world, especially young LGBTQ+ viewers, saw parts of themselves reflected on screen, and it mattered. Ander's struggles with love, health, and identity felt real, and Arón played every moment with a delicate balance of strength and fragility. Off-screen, Arón leans into his role as an unconventional star. His fashion choices push boundaries. His social media is a mix of surreal art, music, and cryptic captions. He has collaborated with edgy brands, starred in music videos, and even dipped into a music career of his own, blending trap, reggaeton, and alternative sounds. What is most fascinating is how Arón has built a space where he does not need to explain himself. His fans embrace him as he is, queer-coded, fluid, undefined. And in doing so, they have helped shape a new kind of male icon, one who does not need to declare his orientation to be embraced by the LGBTQ+ community. Arón Piper is more than just a pretty face on Netflix. He is a symbol of a generation craving complexity, authenticity, and freedom. He is the heartthrob who dares to stay unpredictable, and in today's fame-hungry world, that is a rebellion in itself. Drop a 1 in the comments if you are as captivated by Arón's mystique as we are. Eduardo Verástegui, the enigma wrapped in beauty, faith, and fierce debate. Once a heartthrob lighting up Latin America's screens and stages, Eduardo seemed destined for global stardom. With a chiseled jawline, soulful eyes, and an undeniable on-screen magnetism, he was the leading man everyone noticed. But what makes Eduardo so compelling today is not just his past as a model, actor, or Latin pop singer. It is the complex, often controversial transformation that followed. From teen idol to conservative activist, from rumored queer icon to devout Catholic voice, Eduardo's journey has sparked fascination, confusion, and intense conversation. Born in Mexico, Eduardo first gained fame as a member of the boy band Cairo in the 1990s, before transitioning into a successful telenovela and film career. He was the ultimate Latin lover, polished, passionate, dripping with charisma. But in the early 2000s, Eduardo took a turn few expected. After moving to Hollywood, he publicly recommitted himself to his Catholic faith, renouncing the more superficial aspects of fame. He shifted his focus to faith-based projects and began speaking out about moral and political issues, often aligning with conservative causes. And yet, despite his vocal religious stance, Eduardo became an unlikely icon within queer spaces. His sensual past performances, lingering on-screen chemistry with male co-stars, and decades-long bachelorhood, they fueled ongoing speculation about his identity. What complicates Eduardo's legacy, and perhaps deepens it, is how he embodies the contradictions of public life. He has never publicly come out, nor does he engage with questions about his orientation. Instead, he lets silence stir the conversation. While some admire his devotion to faith, others critique his political affiliations. Yet across generations, Eduardo remains a figure of intense curiosity, a symbol of beauty, restraint, and quiet tension. In queer pop culture, he is a ghost of what could have been, a man who once played into desire and connection, only to retreat into absolutes. And in that retreat, he became even more enigmatic. Eduardo Verástegui is not easy to define, and perhaps that is why the world still watches. Drop a 3 if Eduardo's mysterious journey still makes you wonder what lies behind those eyes. Mika, the flamboyant pop genius who turned vulnerability into power. Bursting onto the global stage with his 2007 hit Grace Kelly, Mika did not just introduce a sound, he introduced a whole new feeling, high-pitched, theatrical, and unapologetically colorful. Mika's music hit like a rainbow in a world that often felt gray. From the very beginning, he dared to be different. His style was playful, yet profound. His lyrics danced between joy and heartbreak, and his very presence on stage screamed authenticity. To fans across the globe, especially queer youth, Mika was more than a pop star. He was a lifeline. Born in Lebanon and raised in London, Mika grew up navigating a complex world of identity, displacement, and artistic longing. He trained as a classical singer before embracing pop, and that training gave his songs a larger-than-life quality that set him apart from his peers. But while his music soared, questions about his personal life swirled. For years, Mika remained elusive when asked about his sexuality. In a world that constantly demanded labels, he resisted, not out of shame, but out of a desire to live on his own terms. When he finally came out as gay in 2012, it was not a publicity move or a staged announcement. It was a quiet, powerful declaration of truth. And by then, his fans already knew. They had felt it in his music all along. What makes Mika remarkable is how he has continued to evolve while staying true to his roots. His performances are still joyful explosions of color, energy, and emotion. He sings in multiple languages, headlines international festivals, and serves as a judge on talent shows like The Voice, bringing heart, wit, and style to everything he touches. But beyond the glam and the glitter, Mika remains deeply human. He writes about loneliness, love, family, and the search for belonging, with a tenderness that resonates far beyond the LGBTQ+ community. In an industry obsessed with reinvention, Mika's authenticity has become his greatest superpower. Drop a 4 if Mika's music ever made you feel seen, understood, or just a little less alone. Omar Ayuso, the unapologetic rebel, redefining queer representation on screen. From the moment he appeared in Elite, Omar did more than just play a character. He shattered expectations. With his intense eyes, unmistakable Spanish swagger, and magnetic presence, he instantly stood out. But it was not just his looks or his performance that captivated millions. It was his courage. In a world where many still tread carefully, Omar dove headfirst into portraying a queer character with depth, honesty, and raw emotion. And in doing so, he turned a role in a teen drama into a cultural shift, one that echoed far beyond television. Born and raised in Madrid, Omar brought an authenticity to the role of Omar Shana that audiences were not used to seeing. His on-screen romance with Ander, portrayed by Arón Piper, was groundbreaking. Not just because it was queer, but because it was real, messy, complicated, tender, and true. He showed a young gay Muslim navigating love and identity in a way that had rarely been seen in mainstream media. And off-screen, he proved he was not afraid to speak up. Omar used his rising fame as a platform, not to play it safe, but to challenge stereotypes, celebrate self-expression, and stand firmly with the LGBTQ+ community. His social media presence is bold, artistic, and defiantly queer. A visual statement that says, "This is who I am, deal with it." What makes Omar such a compelling figure is his refusal to conform, either to the entertainment industry's mold or society's comfort zones. He does not tone himself down. He does not chase likability. Instead, he embraces the messy beauty of being human, and he encourages others to do the same. Through fashion that blurs lines, captions that provoke thought, and performances that cut deep, Omar Ayuso has become more than just an actor. He is a symbol of fearless authenticity in a world that still rewards silence. His unapologetic voice continues to inspire a generation, tired of hiding. Drop a 6 if Omar's defiance and fire have ever reminded you to live your truth, no matter who's watching. Troye Sivan, the modern muse turning queer desire into global pop poetry. Few artists have made vulnerability feel as sexy or queerness as universal as Troye. The Australian singer-actor has carved out a space in mainstream music that feels radically intimate, unapologetically bold, and irresistibly cool. With platinum hair, whispered lyrics, and dance floor-ready beats, he is not chasing stardom. He is curating a mood. From youth to rush, Troye does not just sing songs. He creates atmospheres, each one a heady blend of longing, liberation, and unapologetic self-expression. But behind the shimmering synths and the cinematic music videos lies a quietly revolutionary spirit. Troye came out publicly as gay in his teens, not as a marketing move or a last-minute confession, but as a deeply personal offering. He made it clear that being queer was not just a side note in his artistry, it was the foundation. And rather than filter it for palatability, he doubled down. His lyrics speak of same-sex desire with clarity and confidence. His visuals are soaked in soft skin, lingering glances, and queer-coded joy. And perhaps most importantly, he never feels the need to explain, because being himself is the whole point. Through it all, Troye has built an enormous global following, a community of fans who see themselves, their bodies, and their dreams reflected in his work. What makes Troye such a vital cultural figure is that he makes space for beauty, for messiness, for lust, for silence, for celebration. His style fuses high fashion with streetwear ease. His music videos look like queer short films. His live performances feel like intimate confessionals backed by a bass drop. In an industry that often demands perfection, he offers truth. Not sanitized, not staged, but raw, elegant, and gorgeously strange. Troye Sivan is not just one of the most beloved gay artists of his generation. He is redefining what it means to be a pop star in a queer world. Drop a 7 if Troye has ever made you feel like your story belongs at the center of the stage. Manu Ríos, where digital stardom meets fluid rebellion. In an age where everyone is online, Manu stands out not just by being seen, but by being unforgettable. With cheekbones sculpted for the spotlight and an aesthetic that fuses elegance with edge, Manu is more than a pretty face from Elite. He's a walking manifesto, a statement that beauty, gender, and identity are all his to play with. Whether he is stepping onto a red carpet draped in sheer fabric or lounging barefoot in a sunlit room captured by his own lens, Manu curates an energy that feels part dream, part declaration. This is who I am, and I do not need your permission. Born in Spain, Manu rose to prominence through a unique cocktail of timing, talent, and digital intuition. He built his online presence with an eye for composition and a sense of self far beyond his years. But it was Elite that turned his spotlight into a spotlight with global reach. As his character heated up screens, Manu off-screen was already breaking rules, not for shock, but for truth. He openly embraced his place in the LGBTQ+ community, not through a carefully crafted headline, but through consistency, unfiltered pride, androgynous fashion, and a fearless voice on topics that matter. In interviews and social posts, he champions equality, challenges toxic norms, and uses his platform, all 10 million followers of it, as a stage for progress. Yet what makes Manu magnetic is not just his activism or aesthetics, it is the fusion of the two. He understands that representation is not only about visibility, but intent. He wears a pearl choker not as a trend, but as a quiet rebellion. He posts soft-lit portraits of himself, not as vanity, but as visibility. He is the friend, the muse, the mirror. For a generation coming of age in a world still catching up, Manu Ríos is not chasing influence, he is shaping culture. He shows young people, queer or questioning, that power does not lie in perfection, but in presence. Drop an 8 if Manu has ever reminded you that owning your truth can be the most stylish thing of all. Félix Maritaud, the raw nerve of queer cinema. There is nothing polished or posed about Félix. He is not the kind of actor who smooths out the edges, he digs into them. From the first frame of 120 BPM to the haunting vulnerability of Sauvage, Félix made one thing clear. He is not here to entertain, he is here to embody. With a gaze that flickers between danger and tenderness, and a body that moves like it is carrying every story it has ever lived, Félix does not act, he offers himself up. And in doing so, he has become a cinematic force that queer audiences across Europe and beyond cannot look away from. Born in France, Félix did not arrive in the spotlight through glamour or fanfare. His breakthrough role in 120 BPM, a searing portrait of ACT UP activists during the AIDS crisis, set the tone for everything that followed. He gravitated toward roles that others might run from: sex workers, addicts, outsiders on the margins. In Sauvage, he played a homeless hustler with such physical and emotional intensity that critics were left breathless. These were not just performances, they were sacrifices. Félix stripped away every layer of safety to show us what it means to be queer, vulnerable, and alive in a world that often denies all three. What makes Félix different is his refusal to sanitize queer stories. He does not chase mainstream validation, he chases truth. And sometimes that truth is messy, sweaty, hungry, or heartbreaking. He reminds us that queer lives are not always bathed in neon lights and pop anthems. Sometimes they are quiet, sometimes they scream. And Félix listens to both. Off-screen, he carries that same honesty. He speaks openly about sex, about shame, about resilience. He uses his visibility not as a brand, but as a responsibility. Félix Maritaud is not the poster boy, he is the soul, the kind of artist who makes you feel uncomfortable, then grateful, then changed. Drop a 9 if Félix has ever made you feel seen in the places no spotlight dares to touch. And there you have it, 10 unforgettable queer and queer-coded icons who are setting the world on fire in 2025. They are not just stars, they are the spark, with boldness, beauty, and defiant authenticity. From runways to reels, they are breaking rules and reshaping what masculinity looks like. Whether loud or quietly powerful, they prove identity comes in many forms. Drop a number if you believe representation matters, and tell us who stole your heart.